Hello, everyone, and welcome to Local Live here in downtown Frederick at beautiful Macon Music on North Market Street. I'm your host, Ashley Marie from the band Vinyl Rhino and also original songwriting project Slingshot. Check us out. And today, my awesome guests are two members of the very popular local band Hard Swimming Fish. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well, thank you.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for being on the show. I'm just going to take a minute to share the link, and while I'm doing that, Randy, would you let everybody know? And this is Randy and Demian. Very cool name. I mean, Randy obviously is what I'm talking about. So, Randy, how did you start playing? How old were you? What inspired you? What instrument?
Well, let's see. When I was in elementary school, I wanted to play the saxophone, but it looked too complicated with all those keys, so I went for the baritone horn. And I fell in love with the bass instrument from the time I picked up the baritone horn.
And that was your register. You were there.
That was it. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Now, do you do any singing in the band?
I try not to.
You try. I feel like that's like the song of the bass player, except for Sting. You know, he's like the only bass player that the world is like allowing to sing at this point. Like
Him and Geddy Lee.
Oh yeah. I can't believe I missed that one. Good call. Cool. And how about you, Demi? How did you get started?
I got started playing the guitar at 15. There actually is a joint story here.
Ooh, I like this. I like extra stories. Get anecdotal with it. I'm on it.
So Randy and I have known each other pretty much all our lives.
Okay.
So since I was like 4 years old. And we were hanging out at my house, and my sister was having a party, and she had forbidden us from coming downstairs because she didn't want us bothering her friends.
How much older is your sister?
A couple years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the annoying little brother.
Exactly.
Friend.
We should mention his sister was captain of the Palms.
The Palm Squad.
Oh,
at
so
Rockville High
she was, we call that a BFD. She was a big deal.
Yes.
So that's the
With
kind of like
lots
a hard swimming fish.
Lots of pretty friends. So,
Okay. So that's tempting for you guys.
yes, but we were, locked in our room.
Oh.
And I had sort of a, almost a toy guitar, like a kid's guitar. And we thought, we're going to learn how to play the guitar and have a band and be universally loved.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was
So
going to
this
say,
was-
if you could play music, you might have been invited to the party, right?
Exactly,
As
sure.
entertainment. And I don't know if you know this, but sometimes guys that play music get chicks.
I've heard that.
Did you? Yeah, okay.
I've heard that.
Little known fact.
That
I've never
was-
seen that happen.
Oh, well, it doesn't really apply to bass players.
Yep.
Just kidding.
No, it's true.
So but we thought, we'll both play the guitar. And then a few weeks later, Randy thought, I'll learn to play the bass. It's only got 4
Yeah.
strings. It's like, it's like 1/3 easier.
That's right.
Yep.
Now, so were you singing from the beginning?
No,
Okay.
I didn't start singing until college.
So college, why? Why the delay?
I don't have what you call a natural singing voice. I'm more of
Okay.
a shouter, but I went to a tiny college and
Where did you go?
Ursinus College
Okay.
up in Pennsylvania, right outside Philadelphia, and there just weren't that many people there. There weren't a lot of people around to play music with, so I went from being sort of a Stevie Ray Vaughan acolyte,
Yeah.
wanting to play electric blues, to doing a lot of acoustic shows where I had to sing too. So.
Yeah. So you were forced into it,
Yes.
but you love it now.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah. It would be hard to give up.
And did you want to give a shout out to the members that are missing today?
Absolutely. Waverly, we hope you feel better.
I
It
wave.
was supposed to be
We're
up here
waiting to
down.
wave.
Yes. You missed your cue.
I know. I make a lot of bad jokes, and they were joking that they need to hit a cymbal, a crash, every time I make a crafty joke. So that was in there.
And Jason Walker down in Brentwood, who is our percussionist.
Jason down in
Yeah.
Brentwood, and I hear he plays like a fun kit. So to kind of lend itself to your style. So you were saying he has like a snare and his
Yeah.
hi-hat is a tambourine.
We bounced back and forth between doing acoustic and electric, for a while, and so it just sort of happened organically. We were doing a lot of acoustic shows, and when Jason would join us, he would bring a cajon. And then when we started, playing a little more electric, and Wave joined the band, and we needed a fuller sound, he added a snare drum and cymbals and the washboard and a tambourine on his foot. So
I love it. Yeah, I've seen you guys a bunch of times, and I want to say Frederick is probably I guess your most exposure would be at JoJo's downtown,
Yeah,
right? And
that's
then,
our home.
then you do a lot with, is it the Downtown Frederick Partnership?
Mm.
Or you do downtown shows, right?
Yeah, so we do
Okay.
first Saturday on Patrick Street.
First
Yeah,
Saturday, okay,
yeah.
then.
So we're specifically sponsored by Collectibles
Oh,
and
great.
Sabor de Cuba and the Dancing Bear.
Oh, that's good. That's a good little spot right there.
Yeah.
And right by JoJo's too.
Yeah.
So that is your. So if this was like a Jets and Sharks thing, I would say like that is
Yeah,
Hard Swim and Fish.
that's our turf.
That's your turf.
That's our
So
turf.
I would shout out to other local musicians. Hard Swim and Fish. The fish. That's like the Jets and the Sharks. They're coming to get you. They're gonna get you guys. Well, you're fantastic, and I love your sound. Would you mind to play a song for us right now?
Be happy to.
Okay, so this is Local Live here in downtown Frederick. I'm your host, Ashley Marie, and my guest today is Hard Swim and Fish. And what are you going to play for us?
We are going to play the title track from our first record. So this is called Knocking at Your Door.
Knocking at Your Door. All right, guys, take it away.
Ready?
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Well, don't you weep, girl. Don't you mourn. Your loving daddy is coming home. Don't have to hold out. Don't have to hold out anymore. 'Cause when you wake up in the morning, I've been knocking at your door. Mile after mile, this lonesome road, the worried mind, the heavy load. Don't have to hold out. Don't have to hold out anymore. 'Cause the morning sun finally knocking at your door. Don't need no kid, man. Take my place. My love will last. Well, I'm away. Don't have to hold out. Don't have to hold out anymore. 'Cause it'll be soon this morning. I've been knocking at your door. So don't you weep, girl. Don't you go cry, 'cause I'll be with you by and by. No, don't you hold out. Well, don't you hold out anymore. 'Cause when you wake up in the morning, I'll be knocking at your door. I said the morning's so fine, knocking at your door.
Woo! All right.
Thank you.
And the studio audience goes wild here at Making Music. By the way, this is an interactive show, so I see you guys, some folks are tuning in. Hi, as always, to Michael Gray, also a famous guy from Frederick, tuning in. He's on tour right now. Also, hi to Janie Marshall. Hello to VJ watching, and of course, Kathleen up in Canada. And hi, Patrick Michael. He's a real 10. So thanks you guys for tuning in, and feel free to type your questions and your comments on the performance. You're getting a lot of thumbs up and hearts, so you guys sound great. They liked your, that didn't come while I was talking. That came while you guys were playing, so we know what they like. So you said you have more of like a shouting voice, but I think it really lends itself to the style, right?
I hope so. That's sort of the plan.
Good answer. But you guys have such an awesome band name, Hard Swimming Fish. So what is the story behind that?
Story behind that starts with a guy named Dan Van Buskirk,
Okay.
who is actually my stepfather, who he and I worked together doing home improvement work.
Home improvement.
And it was an expression he would use. So if he left me someplace and came back and I knocked out the whole job, like, man, you're a hard swimming fish.
Oh, that sounds original. I've never heard that.
Yeah, I don't know where he got it,
Yeah.
but we played together in high school and stuff like that, and then I went off to college. Randy had another pretty successful band called Blue Yard Garden in the 90s.
Blue Yard Garden. That's a cool band name too.
And then when we got back together and it seemed like we were actually going to have a band and need a band name, Hard Swimming Fish.
It just came to you. You're like,
Yeah.
this has been always. Did you always think that would be like a good band name, or?
I didn't know. I suggested it with some trepidation. I didn't
Yeah.
know they were.
But you took to it right away, Randy. You were a fan.
Oh, I loved it.
I think it sounds kind of old-fashioned and old-timey. It's like, it makes sense that it would come from your stepfather, or maybe even a generation before he could have heard it. So that really lends itself, I think, to your sound and your look. So speaking of your look, like, how did you develop? I know whenever we see you guys perform downtown, my friends and I, you're very put together and you have like an awesome look. Is that one person's vision, or is that just coincidence?
I think it's kind of a coincidence. We used to kind of be slobs, show up in jeans and a t-shirt, and then eventually, little by little, maybe a button-up shirt would show up.
Hey.
Randy always looks dapper. Right?
Dapper,
So-
that's the word, dapper. You have a very dapper image.
And I used to show up in whatever, and eventually he pulled me aside and I was like, "Look, you got to look like you meant to be here."
Oh man,
you know?
he gave you like a makeover
He
montage,
did.
like in the teen movies. Was there like a pop song playing in the background? And you're trying on different hats and throwing
Absolutely.
things around.
That'll be up on Facebook at some point.
Can you recreate that for us? I want to see like him holding different ties up and being like.
Well, one day I think we were playing down in Silver Spring, I think.
Okay.
And it's like, wow, I'm just gonna wear a suit.
Yeah,
Just
why
wear
not?
a suit.
Okay, suit up.
And that was the first time, and then I pretty much was doing that from then on.
And Randy liked that. He approved very
Yeah.
much.
I did. I gave him the thumbs up.
Right.
The double thumb.
Looking good.
That's woo! That's good. You got to be able to compliment your bandmates. I think
right.
that's important. Build each other up.
We're still trying to get Jason to wear a tie.
Yeah.
Jason, what are you gonna do with the Jason? What are you gonna
The
do?
drummer, I mean, time might get in the way. You never
Okay.
know.
Well, the thing about the drummers, they really do have like the best job in that aspect. First of all, they're sitting down, which they get a little bit easier than the rest of us for the most part. But like, I guess you don't really see that much of them, do you? Well, I guess
Yeah.
you see as a pared down setup, you're seeing more.
It's kind of like being an anchor man on the news.
Like, am I wearing pants right now?
Exactly.
We don't know. Like,
It's,
yeah, it's just
it's
like
a
that.
mystery.
In this day and age, I like how you did not run with that. That was a good choice by you. So I do love the band name. Yeah, thanks and your wardrobe. So what are some upcoming gigs that we can check you out in person and see you looking and sounding great?
Well, it is, JoJo's is our Frederick home.
Okay.
So we're sort of in our slow Frederick season. If it had been a month ago, we played at the Thing through for the
Oh,
Frederick
yeah.
playlist. And, April through October, we're out on Patrick Street for First Saturday, and we've been doing that for 12 or 13 years.
It's such a cool tradition. It's
Yeah.
nice to have that consistency.
We have been treated really well by the city of Frederick, and in fact, one time when we were playing on Patrick Street, all they asked us was don't let people wander into traffic. Right?
Oh, really? That's your job as the band?
Yeah, don't let people wander into traffic. So a parking space opened up in front of where we were, and people were standing in it listening to the band play, and a police officer walked by, and then walked by again, and we're like, oh no, now we're in trouble, right? And then they came back with a couple of traffic cones and blocked off the space.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and ever since then, when we play on First Saturday, they give us a parking space in front of where we play, so that
As it should be. Doesn't that speak to, I mean, the show's called Local Live, but we don't talk about it a lot. Doesn't that really speak to like how hospitable Frederick as a community?
Frederick is a great town.
To original live music, and you guys, that's what, I mean, you're originals, that's fantastic that we get that kind of exposure here.
It's a cool place, great arts community, yeah.
So, but you were saying you're actually from different states, everyone in the band, is that right? Did you want to tell everybody a little about that?
Yeah, we live, pretty divergent places now. We grew up together down in Montgomery County in Silver Spring.
Okay, that's pretty
along
close,
with Jason, the drummer. We've known each other forever. But I live in Lovettsville, Virginia now,
I'm around Charlestown, West Virginia.
and Waverly's down in Charlottesville, Virginia, and then Jason, our drummer, is over in Brentwood, Maryland. So, we see each other at gigs. That's pretty much how that works.
Meet you in the middle.
Yeah.
Now, as a writing, when do you get together to do your writing? Is there one person in the band that does the writing and sends it out to everybody? Describe your writing process for me?
Well, Demian does like 99.9% of the writing.
Yeah. So, and like I said, because we usually only see each other at gigs, the way it usually works is like, just before sound check, I'm like, hey, I wrote a new song.
Oh, boy.
It goes like this, and then depending on the level of difficulty, we play it that night.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
If it's a tougher one, the first thing I do is send it to Randy.
Okay.
Make a rough recording of it, send it to Randy, or go out to his place and figure it out, and then we build on it from there.
Oh, that's neat. So everybody really does, they're learning live.
Although recently, Randy started learning how to play the guitar and writing songs himself.
So he's back in the bedroom all over again, with the girls upstairs.
That's
right.
That's right. That's right. Let us out.
Now, did you start on a standard bass and then you moved to an upright, or you said you were baritone? Yeah.
I started with the electric bass, and I still like to play the electric, but I started playing this beast, I guess maybe 10 years ago or so.
Okay.
And now it's pretty much most of what I play.
And tell me a little the differences, like how does that change the way you play? Does it change the way you play, like the gear you're using?
Well, it mainly changes the way I play. I have to, you can't really fly around this thing like you can on an electric bass.
I always want to ask upright players, like, what do you drive? Like, like.
Oh.
I drive an old station wagon from 1982.
Ooh.
And this fits just perfectly in there, right? With
That's
everything
not
else.
the full. That's not the full.
Oh, there's more to it?
There's-
Is that the abridged version?
He
one might
drives
say?
82 Mercedes diesel station wagon that runs on vegetable oil.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow, Randy, I'm learning so much about you right now.
Well, I figured that people probably didn't care about that part.
Oh, no. I just see the songwriter comes in and tells you it's all about the details, Randy. We need to hear those details. So this sweet ride, has it been in any of your promotional photos or anything?
shouldn't. It should, man.
It's too new.
It's too new.
Yeah.
We need older vehicles.
Okay,
you know.
okay.
Maybe something from the 40s.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what would you consider yourself like a niche era? What would you identify your music as?
I think we all sort of gravitate towards that immediate post-war period, late 40s, 50s. But we play so much original music, that it's kind of hard to say that we're not like a retro band from that.
Right.
We just try and have that aesthetic, that feel, and we'll do some, a lot of like Howlin' Wolf and Muddy Waters.
So let's say, what are your favorite artists to cover as a band that you all agree, like, every time we do this artist, that's our wheelhouse?
Well, that we all agree on?
Yes.
That's
why the question is hard.
There is probably not one artist we all agree on, but Helen Wolf would be a pretty close,
Yeah.
Okay.
pretty good one.
Yeah. Bob Wills, I think Randy and I are both big Bob Wills
Yeah.
fans.
Yeah.
But I think part of what makes the band interesting, at least to me, is that we are coming from sort of different, aesthetic sensibilities. Randy and Jason are much more into jazz, and I think there's sort of sophisticated stuff.
The sophisticated. They made you put a suit on. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Waverly loves like Mississippi boogie stuff,
Yeah,
like R.L.
yeah.
Burnside, Junior Kimbrough. He and I both, worship Howlin' Wolf and that sound. And, I'm kind of a bit all over the place between, post-war blues and Western swing, but
Now, Now, have you always been, like, when you started playing together, because you've known each other so long, at least the three of you, the one that's not here, Jason, but I'm not crazy, people. There's not like another guy. So, like,
We just
did
did
you
put
always,
him on camera.
did
That's
you-
right.
He's in the base! The third guy.
He can fit.
Yeah.
He's very tiny. So, was there something you started playing a different genre and then you found this sound later? Like when you first started playing, were you playing like hits on the radio at the time? Or?
Well, no,
No, we never played hits on the radio.
You've always been like in this era?
No.
When we started playing in high school, we were a goth band.
That's what I'm trying to hear. Bingo! Digging for gold and I found it. Okay.
Do you know who Danny Ash was from Love and Rockets?
No, but you had me at goth band. Keep talking. What did you wear in this
Randy
band?
had his hair. It was
It was
fantastic.
all spiked up with
the spike
thing in the middle and
You have great hair, Randy. I gotta say, like you're bringing it. So you were extreme then.
Yeah, and eventually, the hairspray dried my hair out and started breaking off in little chunks. So I had,
Girl,
stop
I
that.
feel you on that. Okay, let me tell you. I feel you. So the goth songs, like you're not gonna play one of those for us today.
We
are
don't
you?
know, luckily.
Just any samples.
But it was. We
Not to,
played a lot.
not to put you on the spot, like on a live show or anything, but like anything like that. Oh man, so much angst, you guys. So much angst.
Yeah, it was a little bit of Cure. We did some Susie and the Banshees and the Smiths.
Oh yeah, the Smiths, of course.
Yeah.
Very depressing.
House, Love and Rockets.
Then you grew up and you were like, hey,
Somehow we
that
ended up-
music is so good too. Like it's all good. It's just nice to see a trade.
Somehow we went straight from that to like classic rock
Yeah.
Okay.
and blues, and then here.
Yeah.
This is where you ended up.
Yeah.
It sounds
It
like
was
a cool
like-
journey.
I think for me it was that like a lot of guitar players from our age group, Stevie Ray Vaughan,
Oh,
sort
yeah.
of like completely blew my mind.
Yes.
And then followed his sort of track, if you like what I'm doing, you should listen to Albert King, you should listen to, Buddy Guy and stuff like that, and then you just follow back and back and back.
I love it. Well, yeah, I think you're super unique, and we appreciate it. We've got a bunch of people chiming in right now, fans already. Hi to Kurt Crandall, and then Kimberly gives a little heart, and we have Lauren Carnahan from Southern Charm is watching. Hey, local musicians. Jason Kane. Oh, Tom from TLFO Productions is on. Hey, Tom. Daniel Wilson wants to know. Do you know this name already?
Yeah, Guitar Dan.
I like when I have like the control and I get to drop a name and then the guests are like, oh God, what is this question? Daniel Wilson wants to know, what about ball amps?
Ah, yes.
Ah, yes. I make hand-built tube amps in old TVs from the 50s and old radios and suitcases, and sometimes I even build a cabinet myself, but that's kind of rare. But yeah, I just take anything that looks cool and unique.
You turned it into an amp.
I turn it into an amp.
That's fantastic. Where can we see images and find these amps? Are they going to start carrying them at Making Music here in downtown Frederick?
Now you've asked to pull it.
we should put one on display.
Well, you can see them online at ballamps.com.
Ballamps.com. Okay, but really, just watch your local Making Music store.
Or come to a Hard Swimmin' Fish show, because
Yeah.
I am sponsored exclusively by
Oh, okay.
Ballamps.
I mean, let's say.
Yeah. I have a couple of suitcase amplifiers.
You do?
Yes.
We've had a bunch. I'm very fascinated. We've had a couple guests with really interesting instruments brought on the show, and then, pieces of gear. But what I'm getting from this also, Randy, is that while you are the quiet one, you're quite the hipster, are you not? Like,
I don't know if I would call myself that.
that's how I know you are a hipster, because they always say I'm not a hipster.
Unfortunately, I can't grow a beard.
That's true. Touche. You're right.
You have to have one.
Fact. That's true. A beard is required for a hipster. But together you make a hipster then.
That's right.
Like one hipster, 1.5.
I've got the facial hair, he's got the talent, we got.
You bring it together. Well, I have to ask this question before we go to another song from you guys. We have an awesome instructor here at the store. His name's Gary, and he always wants to know when we bring in the acts, since you're gigging so much and you guys used to travel a good bit, and you still have some shows outside the area, what is your favorite road food? You just played a gig, you're hungry, where do you go?
Well, I go to Sheetz and get myself an egg salad sandwich.
Ooh, egg salad!
You have two complete opposite ends of the spectrum because Randy's a vegetarian. So
Oh, okay.
it's like he can never
See
find
the
anything
surprise
to eat.
face?
Yes. And I will eat pretty much anything that's in front of me. So
Okay, I love it. So are you at Sheets with him, but getting like the meatball sub right next to him?
Yeah,
Like the
right,
great guy that you
pretty
are?
much, I may, if I don't want to wait, I just grab whatever's on the shelf.
Oh, the made
pre-made
the,
stuff.
oh, yeah. I feel you on that. Yeah, but you're over at the screen, like, no bacon.
I said no.
Our guitar player in Vinyl Rhino is a vegan.
Oh wow.
Which is crazy because he went from being the guy that only ate cheeseburgers. So I was like, how are you alive right now? Because I've never seen you eat like not meat before. So, but he eats a lot of like the fake meats. Do you eat those
Sure,
things?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he eats he's like, oh, I'm having a bacon cheeseburger. I'm like, no, you're not. What is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoy the occasional fake meat.
Yeah. I think that should be your next album cover. Not just fake meat, but I enjoy the occasional fake meat.
Hi, I'm Randy Ball, and
Oh God.
nothing I enjoy more than an occasional fake meat.
Can you weave that into a lyric for me, please? Please, it's really on you at this point. Oh my God, I'm dying. Okay, Daniel Wilson also wants to know, he's commenting, Oreos for Waverly Myler. Overweight.
Yeah.
Is that his go-to food?
Well, the person who's asking, Dan.
yeah, who's
Wilson.
Daniel? Daniel, what's your deal?
Dan, guitar Dan Wilson is,
Okay.
God, how old is he now? About 16 or 17? He's driving now. But,
Oh, he's just a whippersnapper.
yeah, he's a young guy. He,
A baby.
but he's been playing guitar forever. And,
Ah.
I mean, there's, like, YouTube videos of Dan playing with us when he was, like,
Oh
12 or
wow,
something
prodigy
like that.
level right there.
So, but one of the songs that we would play with him was Oreo Cookie Blues by Lonnie Mack.
Oh.
So, and people started bringing Oreo cookies for Waverly because he's
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. That's a great little tradition.
Yeah.
What's it? Let's see. If we have enough time here. Yeah, I got one other question. What's the most interesting gig you've ever played?
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Now, I'm glad I asked.
Yeah.
Avalon Fest.
Yep, that's the
Avalon
one.
Fest. We got to play Avalon Fest twice. Avalon is the premier clothing optional resort
Oh.
on the East Coast. So they have a big music festival every year. And let me tell you, honestly, after about a half
Did you
an
have to
hour,
wear your suit or
we didn't have to.
birthday suit?
They gave us the option, but we decided to remain in our, our uniforms.
I mean, you have an image. So
Exactly.
Can't be changing the image.
Yeah. You did get used to, naked people.
You just kind of after the first few songs, it was like okay.
Okay, everybody's naked.
It is well.
We did actually also have the opportunity to have Marion Barry
Oh, yeah.
sit in with us. He
Oh,
sang
wow.
Stormy Monday with us down in Tacoma Park.
Wow.
Just a few months before he died, too.
Oh my gosh, that's profound. That's
So
fantastic.
somewhere on the internet there is a video. Of
We got
Marion
well. It
Barry
wouldn't be
with
you
Stormy
because you said
Monday.
you're Mr. Flip Phone. So Randy will find that video.
I will do my best.
He's the king of the internet.
I don't know about that.
Thank you all for joining us. This has been Making Music Local Live. I'm your host, Ashley Marie at Vinyl Rhino. And check out Heart, Swimmin, Fish. They'll be at JoJo's. What's your next date at JoJo's?
December 8th.
December 8th.
December
yeah.
8th. So yeah, come see him at JoJo's. My band will be at Champions on November 17th, so come see us there. And in the meantime, would you guys play us out with an awesome song?
Absolutely.
All right. And join us next time on Tuesday, November 20th. We will have John Lawton on. So check us out then. Hard Swimmin' Fish. Take it away, guys.
All right, this is a new one. This will be on our upcoming record. Give you all I got. All right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I gave you money. I gave you jewels. And my love, 'cause you know I am your fool. I tried to give you all my heart and soul. As long as I might live. Well, I gave you all I got, baby. That's all I got to give. You gotta have to show your mouth. You gotta call to show your friends. Gotta give you what you want, but what you want will never end.
Sammy from the band Hard Swimmin' Fish. Check them out at JoJo's on December 8th. And we'll see you guys next time on the 20th for our guest, John Lawton, here at Making Music Local Live. I'm your host, Ashley. Cheers, guys. Thanks.